Hey there, my friend Perry Tinsley here. Today we're going to dig into something that many of us, probably all of us, deal with, and it's those tricky thoughts that really pop up when you've either decided that you're going to get going on your health and fitness journey or you're already on it and they try to sneak in and sabotage us, right? And the thing is, while they try to throw us off track, there are some things that we can do to flip that script so that it elevates us and gets us going in the right direction, or at least the direction toward our goals. I want to call that the right direction, and that's why we have goals, right? So, but before we get into all this stuff, I do want to thank you so much for being a part of this, and welcome to the Power Blast podcast, where we provide nourishment for the soul, allowing you to transform from the inside out in mindset. That's where it starts, right? And fitness, so that you can recharge that mental and physical battery of yours and reclaim your power. And I also always give an invite to jump over to talktoperry.com. That's where you and I can have a chat about the very things that you want to do to elevate your battery level. And I'm talking about mental and physical battery. I'm not talking about, like, hey, I need to recharge the D size or the the A size batteries, but I just want to help you reclaim your power. We do that in 15 minutes. Talktoperry.com is where that's at. So, man, this is all about, wanting to keep your energy high, reaching all of your goals. And what's the deal with our minds, wanting to take us off course? Because our minds are like, they're super powerful, right? And they can be like the biggest empowerment encouragers, and help us level up, cheerleader level, whatever it is. Or more often than not, they try to get in there and make it kind of in a sneaky way. Not even like a blatant, hey, we're not doing this. We're not going to exercise. No way. It's just these sneaky little pullbacks to create doubt, to create worry, to create fear, to create procrastination. Procrastination is kind of a spin-off of all those other things. But if you think about it, I don't know if you've ever worn glasses. I was wearing glasses for a while now. I've had my vision corrected, but just think about it. Even when you wear sunglasses and fingerprints get on there, and now your lens is kind of smeared a little bit. You don't see things as clearly, and a lot of us go about our lives without that focus on our goals. We kind of have these little obstacles and this little blurriness that either we've chosen goals that are kind of fuzzy, kind of like a smudged lens, or we choose things that, or we let the thinking come in and create obstacles that are really bigger than they appear. But when we can clear that lens off and really make it into sharp focus, we can remove the roadblocks. We can see them clearly for what they really are and be like, oh my gosh, I've got that. Why was I making such a big deal of it? So that's one thing that I realized. I want to say early on my fitness journey. Now I've been on like a 20-year journey now, where I finally made that committed decision that instead of it just being, oh, I'm on this thing until I get off this thing, kind of like sometimes diet plans are that way, where I'm like, I'm on this eating plan until I can't wait until I can get off of it. I decided, you know what, I'm just adopting this lifestyle. I'm still going to embrace the fun things that I enjoy doing, but I'm going to do more things that take me toward my goals than really continuing to add to smudges on the lens that take me off course. And so I began to realize that a lot of the times it was really challenging my thinking. And I think for sometimes, at least for me, for many, many years, I kind of ignored my thinking. I would have these thoughts and I might get down on myself and I'd be like, oh, I got to do better. I got to do more. And then I would get off track and I would either reason it away, rationalize why it was, but a lot of times it was just ignoring it. It's like, yeah, I know. I need to lose some weight. Okay. And I'll get to that someday when life settles down. And I would have these little mini conversations and then I would ignore it. And what that did was it enabled me to drift further and further and further off course. And to where I was like so far off off track that I never thought I would get to where I was. And I think a lot of us have that where we've got these dreams, we've got these goals, we start dabbling or kind of go in the direction, we let life kind of take control of us instead of us taking control. And we let that add up over time. For many of us, it's been years, and we've drifted so far off course, and we're like, oh my gosh, how did it get this way? How did I get to be this way? And it wasn't like an overnight thing. It was just these little things that didn't happen. So I would be reasoning things like, well, you know what? It's too late in life for me, or when life settles down, or I just don't have time. I've got this long commute. I've got too much on my plate. That's a very favorite, popular response when I talk to clients. And basically, that's just your mind playing tricks on you. And so that's what I was realizing was like, oh wow, I I am trying to find escape hatches to get out of doing the things that I know will, once I'm exercising and I'm creating energy and I'm creating focus and I'm working on my mindset, when I'm doing that, I feel amazing. When I'm eating healthy, I feel amazing. That should be the stuff I want to get into. But life likes to say, come over. The couch looks good. What's on Netflix? You've had a long day. Maybe some ice cream or pizza. You don't have time to cook. And we would just rationalize these things. And that's what I was doing. And so I realized, what if I didn't do that anymore? What if I just questioned those thoughts and said, you know what? I'm still going to go for my goals. Now, it wasn't saying that I was depriving myself. And a lot of times people will get into that logic and start saying, oh, well, I'm depriving myself. You got to live a little. That's just the conditioned response that the little sneaky thoughts get in there. I'm going to live a little? No, I'm going to live a lot. And by me living a lot, I'm going to put my energy into things that will bring fulfillment, that will bring joy and happiness, as opposed to I'm feeling like I've got a big chip on my shoulder. I'm feeling like I'm really against the world, or the world is against me, all that stuff. And just like it's like cleaning the lens, all of a sudden these obstacles that I made to be big things, like I've got an hour commute, I have no time, all this stuff. When I started committing to the things that I wanted and really desired, all those other things began to shift for me, especially my perspective. It's like when if you've ever gone out for a hike, or you're just even walking down the street and you're walking along, maybe you got a goal to get to the end of the trail. You get a pebble in or a little pebble in your shoe. You don't sit down and go, I can't go on. Oh my gosh, I got this pebble. There's no way I can walk. No, you stop, you take off the shoe, dump the pebble out, you keep going. Or you might even walk with a pebble. I don't know. But the point is, a lot of us are looking at that little pebble and making it as if we had just come across a big boulder in our life, and there's no way in the world I could ever move over because there's this pebble. It's a big, huge obstacle. So when you start to step back and really take a look and get radically honest with yourself, which is what I talked about on a podcast or so ago, you can start to really get in alignment with more toward your goal, and really start questioning the thoughts that you're having, and then the actions that you're taking. Because it's not just, hey, I had these great thoughts, why don't I have six-pack abs? There's some action that needs to be taken, some persistence. And I love that. I'm pleasantly persistent. I'm in calm expectation that things are going to work out. And how do I know? Because in my mind, I already see it. So here's the thing. Every time we push past one of those sneaky thoughts, it's like this little energy boost. It's like plugging in your smartphone and getting a little charge, and your mental battery and your physical battery becomes a little bit more empowered. It all starts in the mind, And with the mind, then it goes into the body to put things into action. And that's where the motivation and the inspiration happens. It's not waiting for something outside of you. It's inside of you that you're just like, that's it. And you begin to take care of yourself, and life, the perspective starts to look a little bit differently. And as I'm talking about mental and physical battery, that's why I tell people, get over to talktoperry.com. Because we'll have a discussion. So many of us live our life like we are a 6-year-old smartphone, 2% battery life, and no charger. And we go about our lives like, oh my gosh, I can't do one more thing. There's no way. If I do one more thing, I'm going to run out of battery. And, don't somebody dare text me or anything, or even ask me or to consider to work out. Are you kidding me? And so I want to help you with that. I want to help you recharge. I want to hear what things you're struggling through with, anything that that have become an energy drain for you. And within 15 minutes of us talking together, I'll give you the best direction where you're going to get the biggest results from, so that you can reclaim that power of yours and really charge up and really recharge that battery. And hey, I will give you 3 strategies that you can use right away to you'll be able to reclaim your energy, boost your energy, reclaim your time, and make yourself the priority. And I often ask on my podcast, if you're listening to the audio podcast or even this video one, how would your life look different if your mental and physical battery was running at 100% every single day instead of like a 2%, 6-year-old smartphone, right? TalkToPerry.com is where you can find that, and we can chat. So next time you hear that little voice saying, oh, you can't do this, not now, that's not a good, it's not a good time. Just remember, it's just that little pebble. It's just a little thing. Take it out. Keep going towards your goal, your health, your fitness, because that future self that you keep putting out there in the future, you can live that now. Okay? Start living and acting in that person, whatever the characteristics are of that person that you keep saying, oh, when I'm in shape and when I'm doing this, all these big things, start doing those things now, and you're going to make quantum leaps. But just know, you can choose to use your power and take control, or you can let the excuses, defending limitations, like, oh, I don't have time, I can't do this, I've got all this. You don't know me, Perry. I've got this to-do list. You can let those things control you and drain your power. It really boils down to deciding and committing to yourself and your goals, and choosing to figure out new ways, looking at possibilities, learning and growing, and keep moving forward. You've got this, my friend. I'd love to hear your top takeaway from today. Drop those down in the comments. I do respond to those. I reply. You absolutely rock, my friend. And as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week. That's another Power Blast podcast in the books. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, when you are ready to recharge your battery, make sure you go to talktoperry.com. That's talktoperry.com. That's Perry. And I want to listen. I want to hear, what's going on. I want to help you in that 15-minute call to recharge your battery and reclaim your power so that you're off and running and creating massive momentum toward your dream. Also, every day, I am delivering more motivation, support, tips, and strategies inside my free community with amazing people like yourself. And we are conquering the mindset and the fitness. I do 52 weeks of free training in there. Plus, I coach and I mentor people, as well as give you access to tons of resources and guides. It's called my Upside Down Fitness community because we work on a lot of mindset stuff, the inside stuff. And we're a fun group of people striving to make healthier habits in this awesome chapter of life. So make sure you get in there. I promise you'll absolutely love it. Just head over to UpsideDownFit.com and you can get into the group. And hey, you would be an awesome friend if you get over to iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast and leave an honest rating and review for the Power Blast podcast. It helps awesome people like you find this show even faster, and that's who I'm looking for, awesome people like you. That's all I have for this week, my friend, and just to let you know, you absolutely rock. That's all I have for this week. I'll see you on the next Power Blast podcast, and always remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.